Well, today we have Steven's car in the shop and we're going to be working on it. Little upset from yesterday because I dropped this piece to the three-wheeler and broke it. But my wife is calling, so I got to go answer that. Well, after the broken part on the three-wheeler yesterday, I'm still kind of a little upset about that, but still waiting on parts. But we're going to pull Steven's car up on the hoist here. There's still a lot of stuff we have to do underneath here, like that nose cone and this rad support and this alternator, and that motor mount hit the timing chain, so I'd like to take a look at that, and basically a whole bunch of stuff I don't really want to look at today. So let's take a look at these rear trailing arms and this rear frame. So let's see if you can see that. I don't like that. It's pretty hard to back this thing up as of right now. Oh, buddy, look at that. Should be an easy fix, though. I'm seeing all types of carnage underneath here. I'm seeing this trailing arm broke. I'm seeing this one bent. I'm seeing this one already been fixed. So, and then I'm seeing that one broke. So that's a solid one. So that one there is kind of an easy fix because we can just weld it together. This one right here, I might just cut it apart, thread it with threaded rod, and then weld it back together, and that's probably the same thing I'm going to do with that. Because this is a pre-ran, those are all classified as repairs, but if this was a factory car here in Ontario for stock class, that would, oh, this is kind of like a pro stock class, but I don't know if that would really pass, but because it's a repair, I'm pretty sure it's going to pass. So let's start cutting and finding some threaded rod to jam in there and weld back together. So what I want to do is I want to put this rod into there and into there. And I only want to go about an inch into either one. So when I push this in, it's really hard to get that aligned and pull it at the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust this nut so it pulls this out and threads itself into that. It'd be a little bit easier if I had 2 or 3 people here to help me, but because I'm doing it by myself, that is where the problems come in. And then once we get in there, we can actually weld it to this side, and then we can adjust it in and out how much we want with this nut, and then just leave the nut on there when we're done. So let me show you how this is going to work. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get it close to where it needs to be. So then that way it's little... Oh, look at that, it's already jammed. Perfect. Just thread this out just a bit. Take a look a little bit farther. Just that once you start putting side load on it, it gets really, really hard to move. Okay, so we're right where I want to be. Just going to push that into place. I'm just going to tighten this. Now as you see, it's kind of threading itself into this one. And once you get to a point, you can just see how it's inside of there now, but we can adjust it more. And that's just a 5/8 coarse thread threaded rod. Now I do have a come along pulling this back a bit, so if we loosen this off, there, it's a little bit too tight, but now we can weld this side, because I'm pretty sure we are probably about there. We weld it, and then we can push this tire back. So let's go weld this, and then we'll adjust this nut and push this back even farther. So now we can just adjust this nut until we get the proper spacing that we desire. It's a pretty easy, nice little setup that you can do by yourself. I don't really have a lot of people that come here and help me build the derby cars. Steven comes over every now and then, Eddie comes over every now and then, but realistically, I pretty much just do this all by myself. So, see, that looks like a good space. We're going to be cutting this one out as well and fixing that, so I'm going to give that a weld now. And that's not fully welded, but as of right now, it's good enough. I'm gonna be taking the rear tires off this once I get everything done and then fully welding everything because I can't really get at the other side for now. But as of right now, that's good. Well, guys, we got about 3 more links to do on that, so I'm gonna get a head start on doing those. But I want to take a quick shout out and say I bought this shirt from a fellow derby competitor, Blair. I've derbied with him for probably the last 5-6 years, and a great competitor, hard hitter, wins a lot of shows. And I just want to say, guys, you know what? Even if you're in the ring with the guy and you hit him and he hits you, maybe spread the wealth. Buy some of their merch, man. That makes their day by you buying one of their shirts. So I bought this thing, I think like a year ago. Still using it. I love the long sleeve for out here welding. I wear it to work. I wear it out with my friends. Buy other people's merch. If you drive against them and they have merch, spend the extra 20 bucks. Go buy a shirt off them. I enjoy this shirt, high quality, and I enjoy Blair. When we're in the ring together, we hit each other pretty hard, and I gotta respect that. So I respect him as a driver, and I respect his merch, so I bought his merch. If you guys see another competitor in the ring with you that has a couple shirts, ask to buy them. Who knows, they might even just give you one if you hit them hard enough. Alright, I'm gonna get back to work on this. So we got this one fixed. We got that one fixed. But this one, because it's a solid mount, we did it a little bit differently. We just put a bolt on the top because I couldn't slide anything in. So we got all the links fixed, all the tires are pretty much facing forward. Now, a lot of you guys might disagree with me on this, but this is how I see it. I see this as a lot of extra weight back here that you don't need. Remove the drum, remove the backing plate, remove all the brakes, and it cuts about 10 pounds out of the back of this car that is less likely to snap these spindles. Yes, if you get hit by another car pretty hard, it still could snap them. But by doing this, it makes that it's just, I think, personally, that it's less likely to break off. So let's remove these discs and remove the backing plates and get everything out of there and make this a lot lighter. Because then I think it's going to be less of an issue. Less sprung weight, right, guys? So let's get this off of there. Well, take a look at the back of this car. My goodness. Spins freely. Look at all that extra weight that we cut out of there. This will also make it like, yes, the rim will bend, but I think it would just bend the rim and bend the strut enough to keep it going. But realistically, you lost all this. You lost this. I bet you that's 20 pounds and that's 20 pounds. And that's just weight that you don't need on these little tiny links back here. So, the back suspension has now been buttoned up on this thing. This side's pretty good. This side's seen better days. But it spins freely. This does have a bad valve stem though. You see the bubbles coming out of it? So the rim's just kind of rotted around it. These will probably be the last year for those rims. So now we need to turn our attention to the front of the car. Actually, to be honest, we pretty much need to turn our attention to the bodywork on the car now. The back of this thing is going to need quite a bit of work. Let's see if we can come down on this. So this whole side of the car, I kind of want to push it over. I kind of want to pound the speaker deck down a bit, just so I can kind of see in and out of the car. Well, I guess that tire's flat. I thought it had air in it. So that one's flat, and you're not flat, but I know you're going flat. So yeah, I basically want to spend a little bit of time on the back of this car, just because it's kind of bent to garbage. So I'd like to kind of fix that up. And then in the front, we need a rad support. Now my plan is just to cut this one out and maybe try to put one back in out of another car. But unfortunately, I don't have anything going to scrap around here, so we might be rocking no rad support in this thing, or just maybe even leaving this one. I'm not really sure at this point, but it's kind of garbage. We do need to put an alternator in it too. That's not body work. And then yeah, so alternator, pretty much the back end and the front end, and then I want to put the roof back on because while I was driving here, this thing decided to freaking rip open. So, a little bit more work to do. Thanks everybody for watching. You know what, guys? I enjoy doing these build videos for you. I don't get a whole lot of time to do these. I just got a phone call, and I have to go to Niagara Falls from my house, so that's a 3-hour drive one way. No idea how long my day's going to be, but that's the type of work I'm in. You never know where you're going to be tomorrow, so I got to wake up at about 3 a.m., head out of here, and then drive to work, and my work starts at 6:45 in the morning, so gonna be calling it pretty soon tonight and just going inside and resting, maybe cooking up some meals for tomorrow. But thanks everybody for watching, and I'd like to see you guys all come back later here on Zach's Workshop for more build videos.